Okay, so today we have Jarrod Arnold with us. Jarrod graduated in 2009, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
2009.
2009.
Spent some
Um,
time.
yes, he was a great student and a lot of fun to have in class. And I'm so excited that he was willing to speak with us today. And so we're going to just start out, Jarrod, if you wouldn't mind, just to share a little bit about what you were involved in high school here at Marion High School and just kind of who you were back in the day, I guess.
Yeah, I'll have to seriously think about this one because it feels like it's been forever. But obviously was involved in sports, played baseball, basketball, and football in different years while I was there. Kind of went back and forth on a few of those. Was involved with, I think it's called FCA. Is that right? Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Yep.
Obviously FBLA, student council, I think a year or two in there. And I'm sure a few others that I've forgotten about. But yeah, it was, across the board and tried to be, do multiple different things. So
You were a very well-rounded student, a very good
I
student.
tried.
You succeeded. You did it. By the way, I still show the Taco Bell commercial.
Really? That thing still exists?
Yes, I still have it. I don't let people like that die. Quality,
Yeah.
I hold on to quality like that. So
Yeah.
I still show that in marketing. So that was
That's funny. I may actually see Cam McCurdy today. He's supposed to be out here working on the internet. So may actually see him a little bit today. He's the one who shot that, I'm pretty sure.
yes, it was you and Taylor Stecklin, and
Taylor
then
Stecklin, yeah.
Cameron shot it. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can let him know that, and also I'm sure he's super busy right now, but I did reach out to him too to interview him. So
He's crushing it.
yes, he is for sure, and so are you. So if you wouldn't mind to kind of walk through, um, you graduated May of 2009, and kind of
Hmm.
what was your career path like from then until the position you're in today?
Yeah. So went to Ole Miss right out of high school, and from day one was an accounting major. Thanks to you. And just kind of took that whole career path and just the basic career path of going public accounting right out of college, and spent 5 years in public accounting on the tax side. Went made yeah, I know, right? Made it up to manager, and last year with the new tax law changes, it was just an absolutely brutal year. And so when that was over, just kind of took a deep look at what I want to do, and tried to decide, when was the right time to make a change, and just decided that, last year would be a good opportunity, and had an amazing opportunity come in front of me. So now in the private equity commercial real estate space, and just trying to, take this first year of being in there and learn as much as I can.
So what is private equity real estate for my students and for me? I mean,
Hmm.
what does that look like?
Yeah, for sure. So we compile or get a group of investors together and go buy office assets in emerging secondary markets similar to Nashville. So I saw your video as Zach Cavanis. We have a couple of properties um, in Kansas City in the same area that he works in and lives in. We have a couple of properties in Richmond, Nashville, and just kind of target cities very similar to that. So um, Detroit's, Pittsburgh, places like that. We buy office assets. So just think like your typical office building with, a couple of tenants and close to where, you work or where you live and want to hang out.
Okay. And so then since you purchased them, and then so do you kind of further develop them and then hold on to them, or do you then turn around and sell them? What's kind of the goal?
Yeah. So our goal, our investor base just really wants cash yield. So they want their distribution every month. So we find stable assets that we don't really want to pour a ton of money into. Maybe they were built in early 2000s. They're in great shape, have a great HVAC system, a great roof, a great elevator, the major items that cost a lot. And so we're not going to be pouring a lot of money in there anytime soon, hopefully. Obviously, that you never know with items like that. Real estate is a living, breathing animal. Things happen. So Yeah, you never know there, but um, yeah.
So you probably have to do quite a bit of market research
Hmm.
on the cities that you're targeting and kind of even the areas within a city, I would assume, to decide
Yeah.
locations.
Yeah, we look at first we look at different cities and look at um, the data there for each city. But then we kind of dig into the submarkets of each city because we want to be very specific on where we go. And so, our theory is that a lot of millennials are starting to get into an age where they're wanting to get a little bit farther outside of the city, even though they're still wanting to have the benefits of living close to a city. And they want to be able to live, work, and play in a very, small environment. So we look at job growth, access to education, and things like that to kind of pick like our very specific sub market of a city on where we want to go. And then from there, we just spend a ton of time, calling on brokerage firms and trying to create relationships that are going to give us a great off market look because we don't want to get into like a bidding war with other firms that
Got
operate in our space.
Gotcha. So you're definitely working with market research. You're doing your
Hmm.
cost accounting, crunching the numbers on what the properties are going to cost to acquire and maintain, and what
Hmm.
return you're going to get. So you're getting a kind of a blend there. And I'm assuming you work with contractors as far as inspecting the buildings and determining what might be, underneath the structures or whatever, I would
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah, absolutely. We have all the third parties that come in and take a look at the building and give us a little bit more of a specific their opinion on what could happen in the near term. So
Exciting. So on the day to day, when you're not quarantined, like the rest of us right now, what's a typical day look like for you, when you're, doing your thing?
yeah, so I mean, coming in, I was hired as the whole like CFO controller type role. I thought it was going to be a lot of accounting, just day to day in and out, just debits and credits, just the same old stuff, But it's turned into a lot more of an investor relations role, a lot more marketing. So I spend a good bit of my morning answering questions from investors, whether it be about their distributions or how the property is performing or when their K1s are going to be ready, just across the board, never stops. And then I spend a good bit of time doing. We have a marketing contractor, so working with her, we're trying to increase our footprint in terms of our resources and putting out a newsletter, putting out blogs and webinars. Been
Mhm.
doing a couple of webinars lately. So a good bit of time working with her as well, and then obviously just the same accounting stuff, keeping up with the financials and things like that. So it's kind of turned into more of an operations role, I guess, across the board. So every day, you know, varies, and it really hasn't changed during coronavirus, other than where I'm at. So
Yeah.
it's
So
great.
are you in downtown Nashville normally? Is that where your office
Hmm.
is?
Yeah, it's in an area called Belmead. So it's considered downtown. It's within city limits and things like that. But it's the more, I guess, upscale area of downtown Nashville, kind of the old money area.
Gotcha. So do you travel to see the properties in other cities that you might be interested in, or does someone else do that, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I don't travel as much as what some of our other guys do. Our asset managers are the ones that are going to go and spend a lot of time checking out the buildings, interviewing the tenants and things like that when we're thinking about purchasing. But then I'll go to each building about twice a year, usually mid-year and then end of year, to do kind of a budget review, look at next year's budget,
Mhm.
things like that.
That's
So not a
really,
ton of travel, but
yeah.
when I do travel, it's a lot. So like in December, I think I hit Kansas City, Richmond, uh, New York, and I feel like somewhere else, all within like 6 days. So
Gotcha. You do a road show, basically, a
yeah,
big
exactly, exactly.
a big road trip, and then so so what do you think are the skills or characteristics that help someone, um, be set apart in this field?
Yeah, I mean, everything in my field is relationship based, right? So, being able to communicate, being able to build a relationship, whether it be with our tenants, our leasing brokers, brokers that are trying to sell the building, whatever it might be, everything is relationship based. And I think that's one of the things that's allowed me to expand outside of the accounting arena, is that I really take time to listen and to communicate with our investor base. So it started out with me being going from accounting into more of an investor relations role, and now I'm continuing to expand that into other roles as well.
I do think there's a misconception that accountants are, just kind of little number nerds or whatever.
Yeah.
And to be successful, you have to have the communication skills,
Hmm.
without a doubt. Um,
Yeah.
so that's good to hear. Um, when you were in college, did you do any internships or anything like that that kind of helped you know that you were, oh, this is definitely the right path for me, or how did that look for you?
Yeah. So I decided to go against doing just your typical public accounting internship. The dean of Ole Miss of the School of Accountancy gave me a call one time, and called me up there and said that they had a great opportunity with the oil and gas company in Dallas. So I did a internal accounting, financial reporting internship with the oil and gas company, and loved it. But at the same time, there was not that relationship building. It was more keeping to yourself, doing your job day in and day out, and that's just I liked the way it challenged me and things like that, but I knew that I wanted to get out there and have a relationship with people.
I think that's one of the benefits of interning and trying to start as early as you can, because then you get
Yeah.
exposure to kind of different areas, and it helps you see, what fits best for you.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so that's good.
Yeah,
Now,
and I mean, Ole Miss has a great program too, where you're getting college credit for your internship, and then also when you come back, because it's only from like January to March, and then when you get back with your internship, you're doing 4-hour classes 2 days a week, and it makes up for that time period
oh, that's good.
that you would miss by doing a full semester's worth. So you get a full, I think it was 12 or 15 credit hours, even though you're doing an internship during the spring semester.
That's nice that they accommodate in that way. Not all
Yeah,
schools do that, so that's
right.
really good. Yeah, so that's good to hear. So as far as um, my students go, what do you think is important for them to know as a junior or senior in high school? What are some of the advice that you would give to someone who's just thinking about career options, or even, college options, that kind of thing?
Yeah. I think my biggest advice would be that you don't have to have it all figured out. I can remember sitting across the room over there talking to my parents till very late at night, multiple times, trying to decide whether I wanted to go engineering, business, or into medical, like physical therapy or something like that, and whether I wanted to go to University of Illinois or Ole Miss. All three of those options are great options, and I don't think I could have made a wrong choice no matter what I did. So you don't have to have it all figured out. I'm one of the lucky few that went to Ole Miss and chose accounting from day one and stuck with it. But that's not the case for everybody, and that's okay. So don't put too much stress on yourself, and just enjoy the moment. Set a good foundation on, you know, what you're interested in. Get outside of your comfort zone and things like that, and just don't worry about it too much. It'll work itself out.
I've heard that more than once, that even when you do have a solid plan, sometimes that plan changes, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Um, I think what helps people progress is just attitude and work ethic, and having that desire, and the process will work itself out if you are doing your part. So
yeah, absolutely. And
that's,
life's gonna throw you curveballs, so just be
yeah.
ready for it and be out, ready to take it on the chin and then move forward.
Yeah, who would have thought, right? I mean, just if we look at things right now, I feel like a lot of businesses are kind of rethinking, the way they do business, or coming up with new ways to offer services. in light of current circumstances. So that this
Yeah.
is a hard lesson to learn, especially for my seniors, I feel like. But it's a valuable lesson, and it's neat to see what the American entrepreneurial and capitalist system can do. I mean,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I really appreciate you taking time to do this with us today. I'm looking forward to sharing this with my students, and I can't thank you enough for taking time to be a part of their learning experience.
Yeah, of course. If anybody has, interest in public accounting or commercial real estate or whatever it might be, just feel free to shoot them my way. I'd love to help out any way I can.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.